Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late. I was making myself a cup of tea because I know how rough visual novels are when I'm the one narrating them, how rough they are on my voice. So I kind of wanted to try and get ahead of it today, but my throat's already feeling sore and I haven't even started reading. So off to a great start. How's everybody doing today? Ah, jasmine tea, so good. Try you off there so you're not getting in my way. All right. So when we last left off, 2 weeks ago, because I canceled last week, um, we were embraced, we were spared, and we were told that our patron who saved us has a plan, but she hasn't gone into detail yet. So we're gonna find out what that plan is today. I'm sure it's nothing short of treason. Just a feeling. Vita, that's what I need. That's Vita. Hi, Kitty Toe. It's tea. Okay. Okay. Once more, darkness falls upon you. You wake up, same as you have these past few nights, in a windowless room. As you pry open the reinforced steel door, you look out the window to see, invariably, a sky bereft of sunlight. And then it hits you, the hunger. For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night when it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have as much a chance of kickstarting your heart with jumper cables. You lock the door behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her. Might as well not keep the lady waiting. And hey, what else are you gonna do? Get in touch with your boss? He's probably looking for you, if only to scold you for the unattended files piling up on your desk. But what is he gonna do? Call the cops? Not worth the hassle. Hey, Kirito, I can't see. Thank you. You're almost hoping the few coworkers that seemed to give a shit about you were faking it. It would make things easier, fresh start from the ground up, just like old times. These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected. All these people, you're not one of them. Not anymore. You're a vampire, kindred, and you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence, one way or another. Appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's building just as that thought crosses your mind. I like how the boys have decided that they need to be on the desk now. A quick word with the security guard, and you're led into the elevator. Apparently, Miss Langley is expecting you. Of course she is. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door opens, and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. You find the lady herself standing by the window, silhouetted against the city's midnight glow. She stares out, motionless, like a marble statue. Everything all right? Am I interrupting? Good evening, sir. Good evening. She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you strangely, with strangely bleary eyes. Mm. Yes. Good evening, Vita. I was wondering, when you look out at this city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about? You gaze out. Bless you. The lights and rain, the relentless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window, echoing off the building. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece. You good, Ame? Other than that, it's business as usual. The sights, the sounds, the smells, you know them all too well. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Blech. Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies that the world offers. In fact, among kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning even in the mundane. I should read that dictionary at some point. You see, the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. There are 13 such bloodlines among us, kindred, though that number has been contested in the past. These nights, it seems that nothing is certain anymore. The clans have gone by many epithets over the years, but the names used these nights have their roots in medieval times. The original Inquisition, if you can believe it. They used these to categorize us, describe our inherent differences. In time, we adopted them ourselves. Each clan has a uniqueness, inescapable, and originating from an ancient progenitor carried from sire to child. For the Toreador, the gift lies in a sensitivity of sorts. We are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot. A blessing, most occasionally a curse. The sheriff is my clan as well, although you'd be hard-pressed to see him as such. Poor Kadir. It breaks my heart to see him in this state. Still, there is a beauty to it as well. Nothing like a good fall from grace. Or as she might to act playful, you can tell she genuinely cares. She lets her gaze wander for a brief moment, but is quick to regain her composure, her Ventru. Yep. Then there are the Ventru, known for their pride and proclivity to rule over others. The prince represents that clan, as is quite common in our society around the globe. Yeah, I don't actually. I prefer Clan Gangrel myself. Where the Blue Bloods think themselves rulers, the Bruja like to see themselves as preeminent revolutionaries. They call for universal rebellion while being slaves to their own temper. Yep. Once played a campaign with the Bruja who had a fear of ping pong balls. And whenever he saw ping pong balls, he would go into a frenzy. So my character, of course, Rel, carried ping pong balls in her pocket. So that anytime they were in a tough spot and she needed him to frenzy, so she didn't have to, do the work herself, she would get out a ping pong ball and flick it at him. They were abducted once. And they were restrained and everything, but she was able to get a ping pong ball out of her pocket, flick it at him, and it landed at his feet, and he went into a frenzy and just ripped apart the restraints and started attacking everybody in the room, except for my character, thank goodness. This is where Rowena was born. She wasn't named Rowena back then, but that's the campaign where Rowena was born, so it makes me very happy to think back on that. Also, I just realized that my face cam is covering her face. I don't like that, so I'm gonna grab that as a whole. Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. That was the wrong one. You, come here. Thank you. Boop. There. That looks much better. Okay. That way you guys can actually see her. I realize I don't think there's ever text on this side. So, wish I would have noticed that when I first started playing. My bad. We don't discuss the rabble much anymore, not if they largely broken off with the Camarilla. To think they were philosophers once long ago. I hope to tell you more about some of the other bloodlines tonight. How can I tell a kindred's plans? Plans together, right? What is my clan? How can I tell a kindred's plan? Say I meet a vampire for the first time. How can I tell what their clan is? Usually, you cannot, with a few exceptions perhaps. For some clans, the uniqueness I mentioned bleeds into their appearance or disposition. But even that can be misleading. Outside of a few very specific cases, knowing one's clan is less important than understanding who they are personally, what drives them, their wants and needs, weaknesses too. Speaking of which, we've come to the reason I wanted to speak to you tonight. It is customary in our society, especially among younger kindred, to organize into coteries. I actually know what it is. Sometimes these are called by the prince themselves, or mandated by a fledgling sire. In our case, you may treat me as more of a strong recommendation. Treat it as. I want you to seek out companions, not only because you need to learn more about our society, but also because it's useful. True friendships are rare among kindred, but having allies, even temporary ones, is something of a necessity these nights. We might be selfish creatures, but we are drawn to each other nonetheless. Do you have your own coterie? So tell me, are you part of a coterie? I don't actually know how to enunciate that. Coterie? I don't know if I'm supposed to roll the R like that, but I do. Any close allies? I do have those that I trust enough to work with, yes. Not a coterie exactly, though I have joined several of those over the years. Not over a century, though. You, however, would do well to meet some of the city's younger kindred and see if you can find a connection. It's an essential experience for one so young. She puts on a mysterious smile. I spent some of my precious time last night asking around, wondering potential kindred for you to meet. Came up with a short list of contacts. Hope you appreciate the gesture. Forging a partnership with them might offer perspectives and viewpoints that I cannot provide. Lenses through which to view our kind. They are members of the Camarilla, of course, more or less. Okay, who are they? Thanks, I guess, for choosing friends for me? Okay, who are they? Alright then, let's hear it. Who's on the list? Eager to learn about them, I see. Good. Glad. So, let us start with the Tremere. They are a powerful clan, liked by many, but feared and respected by many more. They've been an important pillar of the Camarilla since the very beginning. They are blood sorcerers. Yep. And they like to use behavior. Blood sorcerers. Flashback to one of those nights when your ex would stay up late playing video games. Not a pleasant connotation. Sophie snickered. Oh, child, don't be caught with that look on your face when you meet a warlock in person. They really are adept at using vitae, their own as well as others, unique and potent effects. Yep. Since they are quite rigid in their hierarchy, the kindred I had in mind for you might need some persuading. His name is Agathon. That is a fucking name. From what I hear, he is quite the scholar, very ambitious, the child of a noted Tremere here in New York. Isling Sturbridge. Okay, sorry. Spend enough time with Agathon, and I'm sure you'll run into her sooner or later. Blood magic, intriguing, scholars, boring. Chance to meet an important person then. So by getting to know this Agathon, be closer to someone higher up the ladder? Yes, though not immediately. I would imagine Isling finds herself in a somewhat precarious position. both in the city and her land. Every move she makes is heavily scrutinized. Thus, she has learned to tread lightly. Anyway, if you wish to contact the young Tremere, I hear you can usually find him in a New Age bookstore out on Broadway. The Tremere have one of their workshops there. Gregory will give you the details. Now, this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat. As you recall me saying, most bloodlines have unique features that might not be obvious at first glance. Well, there is one clan whose members wear their curse on their skin. Are we talking about the Nosferatu? I feel like we're talking about the Nosferatu. Fucking called it. Nosferatu. The way she said it, you're pretty sure it should mean something to you. Other than sounding foreign, it doesn't ring any bells. Oh, it rings bells, all right. It rings bells. No wonder they make their havens in sewers, abandoned buildings, and such. Their appearance is hideous and obviously unnatural. Had they walked the streets like other kindred, the kind would have learned of our existence long ago. Did she just shudder? Hard to tell with her usual complexion. But you could swear her skin suddenly took on an even more sickly color. The one I have in mind isn't as big an eyesore as the worst of them, but he is no Adonis either. Still, he has some talents and connections that you might find useful. His name is D'Angelo. He has an office, for lack of a better term, in the otherwise abandoned grain terminal in Red Hook, right next to one of those Swedish stores. The name escapes me. The one with the awful furniture. IKEA? What, IKEA? God, maybe I am Ventrue. No, I'm still Gangrel. I'm still Team Gangrel. Fuck this shit. What connections does he have? You mentioned this D'Angelo has some useful connections. I was just getting to that. D'Angelo does odd jobs for Kadir, digging up dirt, locating kindred who would prefer to remain hidden, the kind of work the Nosferatu are best at. He's on a case right now. Something to do with kind murders, I think. After your initial brush with our dear sheriff, I think it would be wise to show some goodwill towards his agenda. Assisting D'Angelo with his investigation might be just the thing. He takes a brief pause to look out the window again. Now come the two more exotic proposals. Exotic, as if the blood mage and the vampire detective were business as usual. You may have heard about the Gangrel before. They are a wild clan in touch with their beasts in a way others might not dare to attempt. They mostly keep out of big cities, but there are exceptions. Nominally, they haven't been a part of the Camarilla for over 2 decades, but the one kindred I would like you to meet has strong, shall we say, familial ties to the sect. Her name is Tamika. Her sire, Jezebel, was instrumental during the Battle of New York back in 1999. The very same battle that cemented the city as a Camarilla domain. So Rowena was sired in the 1920s. So she was sired before this clan war and everything. So she, back then, was stuck being part of the Camarilla. But present day, as this story is happening, she would not have been part of the Camarilla anymore. So, it's fun kind of piecing together where my original character falls into this story, even though she's not in New York. She was sired in California. So she's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines takes place in California. That's kind of where her area is based. Yeah, that's exactly where her area is based. And base it around sort of, not necessarily that plot line, but around the area that plot line falls in, because in my mind that made sense. So interesting kind of learning a little bit of more history that I can apply to my own character's story because I am trying to work on an actual story for her. I haven't decided if it's going to be like a full-blown novel series or if it's just going to be like a bunch of short stories. I haven't decided yet. Short stories feels easier for me because that means I can build and shove new things in as I go. I think I'm going to stick with short stories. So I'd have to like figure out how to organize them. It's fine. I'll get to it when I get to it. Sadly, her achievements have gone largely unrecognized. Tamika and a number of her siblings still reside in the domain they were awarded after the battle, Prospect Park. Jezebel herself left the city some years ago, fed up with being underappreciated. Sounds about right. Anything more about Tamika? You mentioned siblings. Did I contact non-Camarilla clans? You mentioned siblings. Siblings? Actual biological brothers and sisters? No, not in the mortal sense. The gangrel sometimes use the word brood to indicate child or begat by the same sire. As you can probably tell, they do take the whole animal motif quite far. I'm not sure how many of them there are, but they are rumored to be a tight group. The gangrel often act on instinct, so when you meet Tamika or her siblings, be careful not to slight them. They are easily provoked and can hold a grudge for a long time. I speak from experience. Yep, Marina's still holding that grudge. The grudge against her sire. So you see, seeking out Tamika would prove quite educational, if nothing else. And who knows, perhaps you will find her temperament to be a welcome change of pace. But speaking of a change of pace, I have one last suggestion for you, though it's one I don't make lightly. The kindred who calls herself Hope. She's a Malkavian. Love a good Malkavian. Love a good Malkavian. I miss Mongoose. They are a uniquely cursed clan. For centuries, we considered them mad, insane, unhinged. But those of us who spend enough time with them come to understand the truth. It is no sickness, but a unique perception of the world that has them appear to us as unstable, and that perception can prove to be very valuable. Having a Malkavian as your companion might be taxing on the nerves, and a true test of patience at times, but their insight and intuition are unrivaled among kindred. As for Hope specifically, she is said to be a recluse, but I have it on good authority that she can currently be found in Internet Cafe. I believe it's called, in Lower Manhattan. Gregory has the address. Rowena had a Malkavian friend. His name was Mongoose, and it was fun. Again, Rowena does not get her hands dirty unless she absolutely has to. And she would... This was before she was actually named Rowena. I can't remember the name that I had for the character back then. She would take shiny objects and pay Mongoose to do things for her with shiny objects. He had a very large collection of silver spoons. Like, not even real silver, just spoons. They were very nicely polished. She would polish them for him and then give them to him. And he was thrilled. Realizing how manipulative my character was, she's like, haha! I'm not gonna get my hands dirty for this asshole, so you're gonna do it for me. This is very much, yep, that's Rowena. She doesn't have to get her hands dirty, she doesn't. But when she gets her hands dirty, boy, does she get them dirty. Doesn't sound like my type in Internet Cafe. Wait, where did you learn about Hope? Haha. Joke. Where did you learn about her, exactly? One of my colleagues told me about her. He considers her uniquely talented. current fads among kind. Not something I am personally interested in, as I'm sure you know by now. I take his word for it, at any rate. Well, I believe that's all of them. I still have a few social calls to make tonight, so I'll leave you to it. Use tonight and tomorrow night to arrange some cordial visits of your own. I will send Gregory for you as soon as I have further need of your services. Oh, that reminds me. You will need a car. Join us downstairs. She smiles once more, turns to her driver. He helps her put on her coat, and the three of us leave Sophie's apartment. Sophie points to one of the cars near the building as Gregory hands you the keys. It's a rather inconspicuous compact car, decent looking, if not luxurious ride. Stay safe, Vita. This is your first night alone. Don't let it be your last. As they drive away, you find yourself with more freedom than you've had for the past few nights. Blessing or a burden? Time will tell. With a list of addresses in your hand, you consider your next move. Well, I don't know where I am in reference to you. So, I think I'll just work my way down the list. But if I had to guess, I'd say you're the Malkavian. And you're the Gangrel. You're the Nosferatu. And I already forgot what the other one was. Oh, yeah. Tremere. That's right. Start with the Tremere. It's a kind of magic. Sophie's mention of a vampire clan of blood sorcerers sparked your attention. One of them, Agathon, could potentially be your introduction into the bizarre powers of the Tremere. I should have asked what my clan was, but I didn't. Oh well. You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie. A small bookstore smack dab in the middle of Broadway, of all places. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you've heard about the Tremere, they are infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it all feels borderline satirical. The books here cover everything from Ayurvedic practices and homeopath to wellness and self-motivation. The vaguely amusing juxtaposition doesn't end there either. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, tucked behind a cheap, smiling Buddha. Wow, Anton LaVey. Wow, okay. Whew, wasn't expecting to see that cult leader today. I have nothing against Satanists, just for the record. I had some good friends that were Satanists. There are two domains of Satanism, though. One is the one you hear about on mainstream media, and the other is the people I was friends with who were vegetarians and would literally give you the clothes off their back if you needed them. And also rescued wild animals and baby raccoons that wandered into haunted houses going, "Puppies? That was a night. Whew." And he's buried in a Catholic church. Or Catholic cemetery. Going great. Going great, let me tell you. A scientific journal on hematology sits next to a teen-oriented pamphlet on the blood type personality theory. Oh, that's a thing in Japan. Blood type personality? That's a thing that they're like big into in Japan. I don't really know anything about it. I also don't know blood type. Oops. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, and various emblazoned paraphernalia are haphazardly strewn across the display and between the tomes. Before you even open the door, you can smell the burning incense and hear the corny, far east-tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance. Okay. much more quaint than you expected from what Sophie told you about the so-called warlocks. Doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, it's that appearances can be deceiving. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, the latch slides and the door is pushed open. The tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appears in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets out a yawn, scratching at her tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Your lip curves into an awkward smile. Got anything on vampires? Is Agathon. I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around? The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. A few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A spectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. Come in and follow me. Don't touch anything, please. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, stuffy air smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. The woman leads you behind the curtain, through the back door, onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps takes you to the second story. Instantly notice the change in decor. The tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. I see this fucking thing standing over here, this goddamn mummy-looking thing. What the fuck is that? Teacher, I have questions. The smell here is strong, too, but much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff, it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you a moment to adapt and focus. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Aisling... Whoa, it's moving! Sturbridge. And I'm the High Regent of the Chantry of the 5 Boroughs. Pleasure to meet you. You are Vita, correct? I have to say you're lucky the ward outside the building is only there for notifications tonight. Otherwise, it would have been quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here, but he's hard at work. I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit? How do you know who I am? Well, everybody knows who the fuck I am right now. Like, I was literally just spared from being murdered like 4 nights ago. Everybody knows who I am. Okay? High Regent. High Regent of the Chantry of the 5 Boroughs. That's quite a mouthful. It might sound fancy, but that's because there's a well-established tradition behind it. One you'd be wise not to ridicule. So, some might take offense. Me, for one. What is it that you're here for? I heard good things about Agathon. I was expecting to find Agathon. Sophie mentioned Agathon. Sophie suggested I should meet Agathon. Said he's quite knowledgeable. Did she now? Aisling looks you up and down. Her countenance seems unchanged, but you can tell she's judging what you said. That's... Suddenly, a man enters from a side room. He doesn't even look at you, lost in his own thoughts. I have it, Aisling. I think I know how to find it. He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour. Visitor? Yes, we were just discussing you, in fact. Is that so? Sophie Langley recommended you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Vita. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up. Teaming up? Very confused by the notion. What for? I could assist you in your work. For the company, what else? I could use your knowledge. I mean, I'm new. I need help. Ooh. Decisions. Oh. Yep, I just noticed I moved my camera, and now you guys can't see the options that I'm. What? I'm rearranging. We're gonna block. Then. Oh. Nope. Do. Sorry, I clicked a button. I was trying to click off of what I was on, and I accidentally clicked a button in the process. Maybe. Hit. Hit. Tommy's like, please stop. There we go. That's better for now. Okay. Oh, good. I could assist you in your work. I can be quite helpful, knowing I can count on someone to return the favor. Is that right? He seems to consider it, then turns to Aisling. I don't actually know. Hi, Regent. May I ask your advice? She looks you over, as if judging your worth. It takes her just long enough to make you feel uncomfortable. She takes her eyes off you, she addresses Agathon. Do you feel like you need assistance in your task, my child? I'm confident I could do it on my own. He pauses, hesitating for a second. But I do believe it is important enough to warrant outside help, even if only for a single night. Another brief moment of hesitation. Of course, the details would remain between you and I, sire. Agreed on all points. Why don't you start by giving our intern a brief explanation of what it is you're after? Agathon gives Aisling a hesitant look, but the woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you. A member of our clan disappeared without a trace. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there is anything left to recover, that is. I may have an idea of where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. If you truly wish to help, I could use your assistance tonight. Right now. Given the time... Sir. Thank you. Given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter, I should leave immediately. Who's the missing person? And the missing kindred? Who is she? A single glance at Aisling is enough. You can tell you're not getting an answer. At least for now. We're after her research. That's what you should focus on. These people aren't gonna have it simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal. Heading out. Are you coming or not? Sure, I'll join you. Very well. He gives Aisling a slight bow. High Regent, with your permission? No. Before you go, however, VTM, defer to Agathon in all things. Our clan values obedience above everything else. Prove you can follow, and this might turn into a mutually beneficial relationship. I will await his return and his report. Good luck, my child. Agathon bows again and heads out, urging you to follow. The High Regent watches you leave. Outside, Agathon leads you to his car. Almost funny seeing him get behind a wheel. Somehow you'd expected a more mystical means of transportation. What, a broom? Why are we in the back seat again? You drive south, heading to the Lower East Side. Or, he's a very careful driver. Either way, several minutes pass in silence. I feel like remaining quiet might be the best option, but... so the High Regent is your sire. Did I get that right? Yes. Seems to be thinking the right words before he decides to address you again. Let me ask you something. Why me? There's likely a couple hundred of us kindred in New York. Yet you seek me out specifically. Why? Sophie spoke highly of you. You sounded interesting. I don't know, just give it a shot. Sophie spoke highly of you. For one, Sophie spoke highly of you. Gave me a short list of people to meet. You were on it. Top of it, actually. I see. Once more, he grows silent. You're unsure whether to continue prying as your driver seems to disappear into his thoughts. You drive into Williamsburg and stop by a fancy-looking building. We're here. There's a restaurant on the top floor. You wanted to help? So here's your chance. I need you to get us inside the VIP lobby. You recognize the place, where you were embraced a mere few nights back. Funny how this restaurant is apparently a vampire magnet. Once we're in, we need about half an hour of focus and some space. It'll be up to you to keep attention away from the room. Can you do it? He doesn't wait for an answer. Points to the front door. Ame, you almost made me click, and skip. Go ahead. I'm right behind you. The two of you take the elevator up to the restaurant. The door opens, and you see that there are only a few guests left sitting at their tables. An important-looking staff member approaches you. Good evening. I'm very sorry, but the restaurant is closing for the night. Can I make a reservation for next week, if you wish? I can make a reservation. Sorry. I'm dyslexic. We're location scouting. I'm the special kind of client. Dominate. Let us in. We insist. Roll to dominate! Oh, but we insist. You will let us enter the VIP lobby and stay there for as long as we like. But, of course, please, come in. Yeah, I'm a little hungry. You walk in, trying to look casual, and make your way towards the VIP lobby. You step inside and close the door behind you. This is a familiar sight. The same place where you had your last meal as a mortal. Strange. You should feel something, but the lavishly decorated room looks almost plain to you. Your companion looks at you with something akin to admiration, or at least that's how you choose to interpret the slight change in his usual somber facade. Not bad. Not bad at all. He inspects the room. Unusually cold, and Agathon soon discovers why. Looking behind the curtain, a window hangs open. The handle and lock look like they've been dissolved, as if with acid. Damn it, Juno. Look at the window. Who's Juno? Do you know who the baby is? Or who the daddy is? Oh, why is it baby? Looks like she's gone. What's with the window? What's happened to the window? Somebody broke in, and I think I know who. He takes a frantic look around the room. This changes things. Keep an eye on the door. We'll need some time. Half an hour, at the very least. Nobody disturbs me. Understand? He hastily pushes a couch and some potted plants out of the way, moves a bar stool, and takes out a curved knife. Cutting into his own arm, he lets some of his blood drip onto the wooden floor. Pretty fucked up the way his flesh oozes the deep red, thick pite. In life, you'd have found it stomach-churning, but right now you feel weirdly turned on by the sight. What follows is more disturbing yet. With one hand, he sheaths the knife and seals the wound. With the other, he smears the blood around him while muttering some weird chant. It sounds vaguely Latin, but you're pretty sure it isn't. It's all more than a little disconcerting, but he seems to know what he's doing. A few moments later, the circle starts glowing faintly as thin wisps of smoke surround Agathon. You'd think that I would go for the Tremere clan with my love of magic, but no, I went for the I'm a wolf clan. He sits down in the middle, legs crossed, eyes closed. Minutes pass. Agathon's face twitches from time to time. His head turns every now and then, as if he was looking around or listening in on a conversation. The smoke grows thicker, forming a veil around the mage. You expected something more flashy, but it's still a sight to behold. You wonder what the point of it is, but refrain from asking. It's probably best to let Agathon do his thing. He did say he didn't want to be interrupted, that he needed peace while he did this, so best not to interrupt him. For close to 30 minutes, you're left to your own devices. Suddenly the door swings open and the manager storms in, ready to raise hell. The initial haze must have worn off quicker than usual. Calm him down. You try to calm the man down, but he'll have none of it. He keeps shouting and threatens to call security. What? That's when Agathon finally gets up off the floor. He shakes his head and casually walks over to the sofa, picking up something from between the cracks in the upholstery. We're done here. Let's go. Who the hell do you think you are? Get out of my restaurant this instant! Not wanting to make the situation any worse, you walk out sheepishly. The manager follows you all the way to the elevator, shouting and cursing. Agathon doesn't seem particularly fazed by any of this. The restaurant staff throw you some curious glances as you walk towards the elevator, but wisely decide not to bother you. The ride down feels tense. You half expect to see a police car waiting outside. Agathon only seems to relax once you're back in his car. He starts the engine and takes you right at the Continental Army Plaza, back onto the bridge towards Manhattan. You're just about to say something, but Agathon beats you to it. That went better than I expected, all things considered. It might have been a trick of the light, but you're pretty sure you just saw a smile. I'm used to working alone, but what I'm dealing with right now might require more assistance. And you seem capable enough. Found what you came for? So I'm guessing you found what you came for. Sort of. Enough to continue the search, at any rate. That seems to deplete his social battery for the night. You drive the rest of the way in silence. Enchanted to meet you. Convince Agathon to cooperate with you. Nice. It doesn't take you long to reach the warlock's hideout. Agathon waves at you absent-mindedly, once again lost in his thoughts. Hopelessly so. One of these nights you should probably take him up on his offer. Who knows, if you gain his trust, maybe you can actually break through his stoic facade and meet the man underneath. What was his offer? To help him again? I don't want to rest yet. I mean, I need to take a stretch break. I do need to do that. So, I'm going to do that. And then we will continue on. I also need to... I'm almost out of tea. So. Yeah. I will be back momentarily. Somebody clip that, please.
What?
Can I have the camera for a second to see if the camera sees what I see?
That only works sometimes.
I mean, currently it looks like it's showing all, 30 of you. Here, you can have it back. I hope I threw it to the right one. Okay, good.
That means that we're really here.
Lost.
What? Look at the ceiling, please.
Lost footage.
Look at the ceiling.
What the fuck?
Wait, does it work? Oh my god, it works.
Maybe that footage
Oh
was
my
lost
god,
for a
that
reason,
was...
right?
Oh god, that's great.
God.
We are vampires now,
Shortcut.
guys.
Short.
Hey, what is that? That looks like a fister.
Oh, it's a door that opened.
Ooh! What do you do? Like a regular stepchild!
Spine!
Can
Why
I?
does Manna have a spine?
I found my
Why do you keep
replacement.
finding bones?
Before I pulled it, and then somebody exploded playing with the dog.
Sorry, I was eating a sandwich.
You're fine. I was more worried about Chaos playing with the eyeless dog plush and exploding. Is what I bet.
Did he already? Oh my fucking god.
Can I? Is it really this easy? Can I really cheat my way through this? Oh my god! Had I known I could do this, this would have made things so much easier. Oh! So much rage at this point. Like I actually. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
We're halfway there.
On Ocean Avenue. Yeah, we're halfway there.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry. Sorry. Not really.
Are you here?
Nope. That is a really dirty washer. Like, why is it... Oh, hello, freezing temperatures. Hi, thanks. It's... Hey, look, a handprint.
It's a thumper! Oh! Well, the thumper just blew up on a landmine, and I think Chaos did too.
What? Oh, wait a second. What the shit?
I don't see what you're seeing. Look at my stream, and you'll see what I'm seeing. I'm so busted. What the fuck?
Did I break Manna?
You might have.
Oh, wow.
You have the. It's a glitch. It's a glitch. Yeah. It's a pretty common one for Wesker.
It's gonna go this way.
Oh,
It's gonna.
Alright, I'm gonna leave.
Sleep rest.
Ah, fuck. You're the Wraith? You may be invisible, but I see you, bitch! You're right fucking there! Fuck that shit! Get out of here! Go away! Get out of my butt!
And I'm dead.
Hi, welcome to the party.
Oh no.
Right over there.
Hi.
I'm gonna go get a camera.
He's
don't
twerking.
die.
He's twerking. Oh, he's really twerking.
I don't even see your body.
Hi, Manna.
Hey, look, I saved the
You
beer.
just crawled out of the fucking floor.
Alright, I am back. I also realized that this little sun and moon thing above breath is the time of day. It's obvious that it's the time of day, but I'm not entirely sure how to read this. Like, is it almost daytime? Is that what it's telling me? I don't actually know. Oh boy, let's go new. Clan, a bloodline of vampires who share common characteristics passed on through the blood from sire to child. There are 13 known clans, all of which are reputedly founded by members of the third generation. Clan Toreador. Many Toreador emerge from the ranks of accomplished artists, both new and faded, but not all artists need wield a brush. The Toreador art encompasses all forms of entertainment and stimulation. The clan of the Rose Quartz, the greatest actors, singers, writers, dancers, and even sex workers, if the degenerates believe such mortals will offer something new to their clan. Despite the custom of embracing only the best, the Toreador fixation on beauty and innocence has caused many a diva to make a fledgling in haste. Many a moonlit night, new clan members have emerged as shallow hedonists, one-hit wonders, or just a stunning body with nothing else to offer. Nicknames: divas, harlots, sensates, perverts, hedonists, and degenerates. Bloodline. I wish this was alphabetical. A vampire's heritage. See also clan. Child. A vampire created through the embrace. The child is the progeny of their sire. This term is often used derogatorily, indicating inexperience, plural, child. Clan Ventru. While many other clans claim positions of influence in mortal politics and business, no one can rival the Ventru in the game of pure power and wealth. They have long been the leaders of the Camarilla, holding more positions of power than any other clan, and they are loath to give that up. The Ventru believe in the strength of tradition and lineage. Oh, shush. The embrace is one of their most important rituals, and the choice of child affects the way other members of the clan treat the sire. The Ventru therefore aim to embrace overachievers, politically or financially powerful kind, or those with a talent that sets them apart from the masses. They maintain that they are destined to rule all kindred, no matter the sacrifices involved. Their detractors call them little lords. Orgia? I don't know. And tyrants. Those who respect Ventru for keeping the Camarilla together use terms like blue bloods, patricians, or warlords. Okay. Bruja. Clan Bruja have always embraced from the ranks of those sympathetic to the counterculture and revolution. They seek out allies who question normative ideas and recognize the fire of the oppressed and gravitate toward the underdog. Common perception place punks, gang members, maladjusted immigrants rejected by the society that should protect them, and play card carrying and Molotov wielding rioters among the Bruja. While the above is sometimes true, the clan adheres to no single ideology, and their desire for dissent reaches as deep as the fraudster ripping off his own company. The lawyer representing the poor pro bono, the neo-Nazi claiming to be alt-right, and the basement dweller downloading thousands of movies illegally for redistribution on streaming sites. Fledglings embrace to fight and protest are commonly referred to as rebels, punks, rabble. Cool. Premiere. Go up. Nope, that's down. I don't know why you went down. The Hermetic Mage in the 8th century Romania, Tremere was the leader of the cabal of magic users rightfully feared for their obsession with knowledge and power. Unwilling to accept his own mortality, Tremere cast his eyes on the hallowed secret of immortality. In his greed, the mage instigated the most terrifying magical experiments ever conducted, damning himself and his followers to a hell of their own making. Terrified, they died and woke again to an eternity of unlife and hunger, cut off from their craft. In a mockery of their former magical rituals, now only fresh blood allows the Tremere to cast their thaumaturgic spells to twist reality. The clan is still organized like an initiatory occult order, recently fractured into a number of competing houses, each claiming to be the rightful heir of Tremere's legacy. They see true power as knowing the ways of shaping the world, having access to the right blood, and owning the rarest of ancient artifacts. They are usually referred to as warlocks, hematics, or transgressors. Vite, archaic term for the blood of a vampire. Nosferatu. The clan of the Hidden are known under many names. hives, lepers, sewer rats, carnies, scabs, warlocks. But a few of them sound pleasant. For the Nosferatu, the embrace is a journey through abjection, as the blood of the horror gradually deforms the struggling tissue of the human body into grotesque abomination. Weeks of pain result in deformities similar to terrible birth defects, cancer growth, crippling injuries, and leper-like sores. Those who endure it find themselves as monstrous echoes of Murnau's silver screen vision. I'm struggling with words, and I apologize. But perhaps pain and humiliation teaches compassion. The Nosferatu, as they jokingly call themselves, are the most humane of the kindred, wearing their curse on their outside rather than inside. To blend in, some call on the blood to wear the borrowed faces of their victims or disappear from sight, while others rely on prosthetics and heavy makeup. Interesting. Gangrel. Clan Gangrel are outcasts, wanderers, rogues, and hunters. They make havens in the poorest parts of the city and feel no shame for doing so. They claim few domains as their own, but defer to no prince. If a feral enters a city, the prince will either accept it or have to fight the feral to get them to back down. Gangrel embrace from the ranks of survivors and fighters, leaders of prison crews and gangs, explorers, urban and otherwise, and any kind who sees the world as something to traverse instead of something to hide from. They care not for looks or title, but for accomplishment and reputation. They are commonly referred to as wolves, feral, and outcasts, or, in a more derogatory manner, as animals, strays, and savages. Malkavian. Psychologists would diagnose these children of Malkav with schizophrenia, depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, or post-traumatic stress disorder, sometimes all at once. In reality, Clan of the Moon are all of those things and none. Like the wise madmen of poetry, their derangement stems from seeing too much of the world at once, from understanding too deeply, and feeling emotions that are too strong to bear. They self-medicate with blood, but that is just a temporary solution. All Malkavians suffer mental illness following the embrace, sometimes accentuating an existing condition, other times adding a new dimension to their instability. As if their thoughts and actions were based on otherworldly logic, there seems to be no knowing whether their condition will manifest destructively or when it will offer important perspectives where such previously lacked. They are referred to as oracles, jesters, and visionaries, or in a more insulting manner, as madmen, liabilities, and lunatics. Every chantry has a regent. Every chantry has a regent. The regent is responsible for the tutelage of all other Tremere in the domain. While the regent may not teach them personally, she must ensure all Tremere are being educated. The regent's other duties extend to the clan's protection in the domain and sometimes its representation on the Primogen Council. Chantry, a traditional name for the Tremere headquarters in a city, usually part shelter, part library, and part laboratory. So what I was trying to do was save. I can save an exit. I can't save. Okay. Because I don't. Can I visit somebody else? You need to rest. Okay. Fine. Oh, you're the Malkavian. I had the Malkavian and the Gangrel mixed up. Huh, okay. Well. Fair. All right. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. A letter's been slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. This is 30 ounces of water, and I've drank 2 of these today. This is number 3. If I'm not hydrated, I don't know what to do. Okay. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. The note is short and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Shit. Well, I said I was going to work my way down. I do want to go see the Gangrel, though. I only have 2 nights. Does it fuck anything up if I don't? Like, do I not get to see them all? Because I really want to go see the Gangrel. But I feel like if I don't go see him tonight, then I lose out on something. Mine, Faith and Myth, Part 1. You received an invitation to meet a mysterious someone at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. The preschool I went to was called St. John's. I haven't been to a church since you became a vampire. Or kindred, as the euphemisms go. You've had to focus on concrete, practical things like survival and feeding. You've learned the essentials of the vampire experience, but you don't really have a clear idea of what it all means. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine is a New York landmark. You've been inside once before when you were much younger. You marveled at its Gothic facade. Oddly enough, we did not visit it when I was in New York. I don't know if we were even anywhere near it. I went to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Looking at it now from across the street, it feels ominous. The prospect of an anonymous invitation to a secret meeting is a worrying one, but the venue is well chosen. It's hard to imagine a violent attack in a place like this. Eyes everywhere. You enter the cathedral discreetly. You've quickly learned this is an essential skill for a vampire, how to move without anyone noticing you. The full force of the cathedral's architecture hits you as you walk between the pews. If the architect meant to create the feeling of being small in the face of God's glory, mission accomplished. Based on the note, you're assuming that whoever you're meeting is someone somewhere in the front. As you step closer to the high altar, it feels as if something is dragging at your feet, as if the stone beneath you resisted your movement. Religion is superstition. Vampires are satanic creatures. Does God still listen to you? Probably not. Does God still listen? It's been a long time since you prayed. You wondered whether God listens to creatures like you. Fatalistically, you take another step, and another. You're not sure if your God is present in this cathedral, but perhaps it doesn't matter. What you feel is real enough. There's an old man sitting in the front. You see only the back of his head, bowed down in silent prayer. Your footsteps echo on the floor, and he turns to look at you. You can't take your eyes off him. He's tall, dignified, white hair balding, a few strands escaping to the sides. He's wearing glasses and simple clerical clothing. His eyes are warm and pale, too kind for someone like you. Something is wrong. You feel heavy, as if a giant hand was pressing you down. The skin on your face is burning. Perhaps unconsciously you expected something like this, as a vampire walking into a cathedral. Only, it's not the building or God making you feel like you're burning alive. It's the man. Priest. Welcome, child. The priest's tone is kind, but the rising panic inside is telling you that kindness is not the likes of you. Tough it out. Whatever it is, you can tough it out with your vampiric ability. As you step closer to the priest, panic rises inside you. Emotions are hard to control. Fear, anger, pain, all trying to wrestle you in different directions. Way. The resilience of your vampiric body is the only thing affording you a moment's respite. Yet you know it can't take much of this. Can I help you? Are you okay? The priest talks to you like he would a lost vagrant who has chosen to enter the house of God. How are you doing this? I'm afraid I don't understand. I don't either. Taking a closer look at you, the priest realizes how much you're struggling to simply stand there. Are you one of them? It's simply too much. You mutter something incoherent in reply. You don't sound like a vampire. An undead being made powerful by immortal blood. You're just another sad, confused, lost soul. You turn around and stagger away, only feeling like yourself once you're back on the street outside. You stand on the sidewalk confused, scared. No enemies seem to be attacking you. The priest didn't follow you. The night air is wet with the smells of the city, same as every night. How did it feel? You look at the man speaking to you. He's well dressed, if a little archaic, dark-haired, handsome, like a character from an old movie. He smiles. He knows something you don't. Glance around. There are people on the street. You don't appear to be in immediate danger. Did you do this to me? No, absolutely not. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benoit. I'm going to call you Ben. Because I first saw that and my brain went, Benedetto! That is not what that says. We're going to call you Ben. We share many things in common, even if you don't know me. Ben offers his hand to you. You shake hands. Ben's handshake is firm and dry. He looks at you intently, trying to find something in your eyes. Would you mind sitting with me for a moment? Ben points to a park bench nearby, in darkness because of a broken streetlight. Weary, you decide to follow him. Only an enemy totally unconcerned with the masquerade here. Ben sits down, and you follow suit. For a moment, you both contemplate the cathedral in silence. I know how it feels, what you just felt. I've experienced it myself many times. For a moment, you consider how to respond. It's clear Ben sent the invitation to come here and orchestrated this little setup. Why did you invite me? What's the point? Why did you go to the trouble of getting me here? We share a connection, you and I. I'll explain it later, but right now, the important thing is that it's much easier to show than tell. I wanted you to meet Father Anthony, or see him, experience him. Did you wonder why it felt like that? Does it matter? Is it a supernatural power? It was the priest. Excuse me. At first, I thought it was because I was in a church. Then I realized it came from him, the priest. I think you're right. It does come from him. It's his faith that makes you feel like that. He's safe in his belief, while you are one of the damned. Do you ever wonder what's the role of the vampire in God's creation? Stop to think. Of course, you've wondered what this is all about. Whether it's about God or nature, you don't really know what being a vampire means. That's the trouble with the masquerade. A human faced with a human problem can go online and find something that helps. You can't. The masquerade means that everything there is to know about your condition is secret, hidden away. You're left relying on the unreliable opinions of people like Ben. But here's the funny thing. With today's day and age of the internet, You could easily slip in the truth, and we would never know. Suddenly, sorry, Maru. I didn't mean to scare you. I slid the cup and it made a noise and it scared you. I'm sorry. Suddenly, Ben takes your hand and presses it against his cheek. He stares into your eyes. You feel his heart stop. You felt his heart stop, but neither one of your hearts is beating. My heart no longer beats, yet I move. I talk. Is that how God intended us to be? There's a natural explanation? Whoa, I don't believe in the supernatural. There's just a natural explanation for all of this. We just don't know it. Yeah, hard to not believe in the supernatural when you are one. Maybe there is. I don't know either. But I know that Father Anthony's faith is real. Sometimes I'm skeptical too. But in Father Anthony's presence, I know faith is real. I know it because it hurts so much. But perhaps you have questions about faith in our kind. How do you know any of these stories are true? Perhaps we are divine, not damned. How do you know any of these stories are true? I don't. How could I? This is what faith is. You have to believe in something. Good and evil, right and wrong, love and hate. I believe we are damned. I also believe that there's always hope. Grace. Father Anthony's faith shows me the way. It's so easy for us to lose ourselves in a morass of occult speculation. Some of our kind revere Cain, others Lilith. Many in the Camarilla place their faith in the invisible guidance of the Methuselahs, who are supposed to watch over us. Yet I wonder how much that really matters when compared to the character of a good man. Did I come here just to talk about religion? This is a lot to take in. These are crazy vampire stories. Did I come here just to talk about religion? Do you have anything else? Or did I come here just to talk about religion? I know it's overwhelming. It was for me when I first met Father Anthony. I know there are others like him, whose faith shines like a beacon. Priests, old ladies, children, anyone can have that conviction inside of them. I have to go. I can't concentrate when I know the priest is still inside. Ben nods patiently. Let's meet again in a few nights here at the cathedral. We can talk more after you've thought it through. You leave Ben sitting in the shadow of the cathedral, contemplating what lies within. It would be easier to ignore his words without the reality of what you experience. Father Anthony was holy. You know it to be true, but what does that mean? The hunger calls to you. The city's skyscrapers, the seemingly never-ending sprawl of the boroughs, it's all a prison. You need to get out. You need to take back control over your life this instant. The memory of your sire's frosty blue eyes mocks you, tempts you to show your dominance, to prove you have the guts to take what you want. Feeding. That's just the thing. Coaxing. No. Ordering a mortal to bend to your will, drinking deep from their lifeblood. Faces pass you by, while some look more ravishing than others. Any would do right now. Excuse me. You compose yourself, your rational mind, fearing a blatant breach of the masquerade's temporary hold over the beast and its compulsions. Calming yourself is a small victory in and of itself. The semblance of command will have to do for now, but it won't last. You need to quench this hunger before it overtakes you and makes you lose control. I want to go visit the gangrel. Jezebel's child there. Sophie mentioned a gangrel neonate by the name of Tamika, who's made herself a haven in Prospect Park. The ferals aren't exactly a social bunch, even by Kinder standards. But if you keep her from clawing your eyes out just long enough, she might be persuaded to join you. Yes, please. You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place as you've seen it countless times, in broad daylight, teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the northwest gate into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkept foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air, as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of kindred presence. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind a line of trees. Quick, but evenly paced. Most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to you feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill two birds with one stone. Oh, I don't want to piss off the gangrel. I know I need to feed, but I'm in someone else's domain. I seek out the gangrel haven. I don't want to upset them in their own domicile. Like, doesn't seem like a good idea. You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the ravine. Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from the crowd and enjoy some one-on-one time with nature. And that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain-link fence. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air by the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back just as five-finger-shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch. The clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct the mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic, all right, but he's not the one you're looking for. Starters, he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl resounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their tracks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman baring her teeth ever so slightly. She walks over, calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking, but not to withdraw completely. He glances over to you, puffing up his chest. Stay out of it, Tam. Smelled her first. Can't. How about that? She raises an eyebrow, but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you. You shouldn't have come here, girlie. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you'll be wearing your tongue as a fucking necktie. Mika looks at you, expectantly. Easy there, I'm not looking for a fight, so you can bark. See you bite. Dominate. Force him to flee. I do like to. Your eyes find his, and your... Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm hungry. Your eyes find his, and your words become imperative, grasping your victim's mind like a vice. You're getting ahead of yourself, little doggy. Go on now. Get. Noticing what is happening, Tamika looks at you with anger and disbelief. Her friend staggers and shifts his weight, barely managing to stay on his feet. Fighting against the strain, he sinks his claws into the back of his head. Well, that was not what I was trying to do. A few drops of blood trickle from his nose. You then true bitch. I'll rip off your tits and feed them to you. A fierce growl echoes across the alley, stopping the savage in his tracks. Mika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the dim lamplight. Puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair, tugging at his ear, as if she was scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm, yet oddly affectionate. It's okay, Raoul. I'll handle it from here. Male Gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you. That's how it's gonna be, huh? He yanks his head back and aims a gob of bloody spittle straight at your feet. Get fucked, both of you. Having said his piece, Raoul retreats into the shadows, although, if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within you. With her companion gone, Mika turns to you once more. What do you want? Straight to the point. Like it. I could use your help. Better put a leash on that pet. Straight to the point. I don't care what you like. Quit stalling. You have something to say. Say it. I'm looking for partners. Come with an offer. I'm willing to offer you my services, such as they are. All I would hope for, in return, is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship. So, you want to help me with something? Because you want to be my friend? Is that about right? Sounds corny, I know. When you put it that way, it does sound corny, doesn't it? Uh-huh. She puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued. Corny's not bad. I think I'm okay with corny. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So why exactly should I trust anything you say? I don't expect you to. This isn't like Jezebel. I can make it worth your while. I don't expect you to. Not yet. Good, because my trust is earned, not given. Then let me earn it. Few nights of your time. That's all I ask. For a brief moment, she stands there, motionless, looking straight into your eyes as if trying to size you up. Finally, she looks away. Looks like she's come to a decision. Just so that we're clear, I don't trust you. I have no reason to. Frankly, you sound more lost than I am. Still, there's something about you. You look like you should reek of bullshit, but somehow you don't. We'll give you a chance to prove yourself. I have a walk in the park, convinced Tamika to cooperate with you. Oh, look. Roll up. I have some outstanding business to take care of. I'll let you know once that's done. Meet me here, and we'll see what you're really made of. And with that, Tamika disappears into the night. It went pretty well, considered. Oh, good, it's still early. Nope, it's not early. I need to rest. There just isn't enough time to do everything. Okay, we'll go home and rest. The plan was to return to your haven for the day. The sun is coming up soon after all, but that's not what the beast has in store for you. The feeling of emptiness is overwhelming. The overwhelming famishment that takes hold of you cannot be denied or bargained with. The time when you could reason with your thirst is over. You don't remember how it happens exactly, but you find yourself in an alley, sucking up the last drops of blood from the savage gash in a corpse's neck. Whoop! Shit. I didn't want to feed in their territory, though. You have killed somebody tonight. You did it very close to your haven. Any attempts at covering up this poor soul's death becomes secondary when you realize that the dull glow over the city in the east is the sun coming up. You barely make it back to your haven in time. You realize your clothes are a mess, torn in places, covered in blood, your victim's blood. How many people saw you get into the building? You don't know. It was a panic sprint to escape the light, instinct saving your skin. The same instinct that decided it was time to feed the beast. You cannot let this happen again. You can't ignore the hunger for as long as you did before tonight. You literally gave me one chance to feed, and it was in somebody else's domicile, so what the fuck was I supposed to do? Your humanity depends on it. Not long after you wake up tonight, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hey, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you. Well, my freedom was good while it lasted. Those last 2 nights were nice. I had freedom, initiative. Good while it lasted, I guess. He smiles apologetically. Don't shoot the messenger. The car's waiting. Shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave. Disappear. Sophie finds somebody else to employ. But then you remember the anarch thug being cut down by Kadir and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago. And that it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings. Whoops. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. Simple enough. You're pretty sure it was here earlier, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life, entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to the both of you. A bit of irritation in her countenance that soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile. You're here. Excellent. Thank you, Gregory. Excuse me. Her driver leaves, and she turns her attention to you. I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances. But I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Vita. Thank you for coming. The change in mood of the room is so sudden and startling, it makes you consider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine and expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being. I have a request for you this night. You need to find somebody for me and make a delivery. She points to the statue at the side of the room. You notice a plain-looking flash drive laying on the edge where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all over New York, and it's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this flash drive and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible. You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you. Oh, don't worry about the contents. They are encrypted, a precaution for if the data falls into the wrong hands. But it won't, correct? She gives you a smile that just a handful of nights ago would make you feel like melting. Oh, and Vita, Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of kindred. He is old, and his age has made him even more paranoid than the others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens and changes them often. From what I've gathered, he or one of his servants should be found at the park on Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep an eye out for it. Yeah, because there aren't hundreds of black limos in New York. Smile again, but much shorter. Anything more on Kaiser? Why do you need to trade with Kaiser? Why don't you look for Kaiser yourself? Anything more? Anything more you can tell me about Kaiser? He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He got into a lot of trouble for exchanging information with both the Anarchs and the Camarilla in the past, but ultimately got off scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say that's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night, and good luck. He flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the flash drive and head out toward Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of the Coney Island amusement park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant this time of night. God, for the Belt Parkway. There are plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as a traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would be kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach. Search for signs. Don't ask. Search. There are plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate downtown, but if Kaiser frequents this area, there has to be some kind of clue to grab onto, right? You spend a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign that a Nosferatu, any vampire, has their haven around these parts. Filch. Annoyed, you turn back toward the lights of the amusement park, only to find a man standing in your way, wearing an oversized jacket. He had the air of a junkie or dealer about him. Who knows what he's got in those pockets? You lost? I'm looking for someone called Kaiser. I'm not lost, just sightseeing. Maybe, what's it to you? You could be Nosferatu, but you're not. You don't have the typical characteristics of Nosferatu. Maybe, what's it to you? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. What's it to you? What kind of answer is that? Spook? Fed? He looks at you intently, like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass. I'm just looking for a guy. Chill. I'm just looking for a guy. Drives around in a black limo. Stops here somewhere. Ring any bells? No idea what you're yapping about. He's a terrible liar. Clearly full of shit. I don't want to dominate so early on in the night. Then I might end up having a fucking feeding frenzy again. Intimidate. Listen, man. I need you to contact your boss, and I need you to do it now. But wasting my time, things will get unpleasant real soon. He doesn't take that well. He reaches into his pocket, produces a gun. You rush him. Bang! Well, that was fucking stupid. The bullet hits you, but you barely notice. What would be a debilitating wound for a mortal is just a scratch for you. Forget about your clothes, though. Takes a bit of brawling. The man's stronger than you'd expect, but using your powers, you're able to overcome him. A few hits to the jaw, the man passes out from the pain. Searching him, you find a fancy phone that doesn't look like anything readily available on the market. Phone's locked, but a recent smudge on the screen gives you a rough idea of what the combination might be. You get it right on the second try. There's just one number in the phone book, unlabeled. You dial it and hear someone pick up. Voice like a rusty pitchfork scraping against gravel. Jackie, you're messing up my snuff session here. It better be something big. I have something for you from Sophie. Hi, I have something for you from Sophie Langley. Care to come pick it up? Silence. Not even a sound. The call ends. You try calling again, but the number is blocked. Nothing to do but wait and see if he shows up. Not 15 minutes pass before a black limo stops near where you're waiting. The door opens. An invitation. Inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol. but it currently has none of that. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. There are dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of a gory torture session. You wonder if the limo's owner can focus on anything while surrounded by all of this visual noise, and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? A man blinks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates regal presence. You're 100% sure it's Kaiser. Surrounded by dimly lit computer screens, his features are even more ghastly than you imagine. All sharp angles, twisted bone, mangled flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. Suddenly, somebody grabs you from behind, twists your arms, and pushes your head against the car's roof. I got 'em, boss. Have them. Nosferatu chuckled. Oh, congratulations, dickweed. Could have done that before you gave away the fucking phone. Let them go already. But going to make me repeat myself, you thick motherfucker? He lets go. Take a look at him. The man is confused and clearly hurting. Flashes you an angry stare, but obeys his boss's orders to the letter. What are you waiting for? A formal invitation? Get in the car. We have some talking. The doors close behind you. Boy, that is interesting. Oh, look, the cathedral we were at. So, Langley, huh? Guessing you've got something for me then? You reluctantly pull the flash drive from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into the USB port on the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happens to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data. Who do you people think I am? I saw this footage a week ago. He removes the flash drive and throws it back at you in disgust. Tell Sophie the deal's off. If she wants her address, she can give me something else. Ask how you can make it up to him. Presence asks him to take the deal. I don't think my presence will work on a Nosferatu of his status. And he would probably get really pissed if I tried. So, I'm gonna ask how I can make it up. I'm sorry this proved disappointing to you, Mr. Kaiser. Did I do something to make it up to you? He seems genuinely impressed. Good call! Now that's what I like to hear. Yeah, in fact, I was just about to mention it. I have something in mind. We'll talk again soon. You do that for me? The address is yours. Now, would you be so kind as to get the fuck out of my car? You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque window slides past you, and soon the limo is on its way. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Cool. Searching for Hope. Sophie suggested you meet Hope, a reclusive member of the Malkavian clan. She supposedly holed up in an internet cafe in Lower Manhattan. Before we get started, I'm going to take a break, stretch, and go to the bathroom because I have drank almost 90 ounces of water today. Dear God, why do I do this to myself? I'll be back. Tommy, your butt's in my way.
Bitch.
If we were idiots, would we do
Oh,
stuff
God!
like this?
Yes! You whores! I'm stuck at the door! No!
My bro! No!
No!
Hold on, maybe the burger respawns with him.
Oh, he's oh god! Help! He was almost out, guys, and you pushed him back in.
We're helping.
Oh, yeah! Oh my god.
Oh, this dude crazy.
Where you at? Where you at, you dick shit axe murdering motherfucking little bitch?
Are you sure he's
No, you
Jack's
can't
murderer?
say that. You can't say that.
Suck my goddamn dick. Where you at?
Yeah, you can say that, just not bitch.
Manna, because I know you're spectating me, I'm sorry, but I'm not going back for your body. I'm running, and I'm
That's
trying to get the
fine.
fuck out.
Well, you're going the wrong way. I have no
Can you
clue.
fuck off, Bracken, please?
I don't know where you are. Oh, he's got. Just see the bracken dragging my body.
That's a dead end, ain't it?
Hey, my body! My body came to
What's on your
you!
body?
Nope.
Tingus?
Dingus?
Tingus.
Hey, somebody on Call of Duty called me that once.
Why? Babe?
What's going on?
Why are you writing that?
I don't know who's pushing it!
Is your game haunted?
It is now.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
Uh-oh.
Tingus, what did you do?
I lost the body.
Ah.
Lost it?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to type it?
I mean, if I can't find it, nobody else can, right?
That's not how that works.
No.
Oh, shit. I don't... Let me out!
Yes.
Let me out!
Yay!
This is not a dance!
I mean,
Oh.
Here somewhere.
I-
I don't know how much it is. Double how much the beehive is worth. I'm going to play something with
100% scrap
and
value.
then I will be right back.
Oh, thank you.
He doesn't have much time to play because he has work in the morning, so I will be back very shortly.
oh my god.
well, yep. Oh!
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I will be back very
I
shortly.
opened it and I
Chris
started
doesn't
running
have
and it
much
wasn't
time
fast
to
enough.
play. I
Oh,
forgot
God. Not wrong.
he got me naked for
Oh
no
my God,
reason.
somebody spawned a
He
lion
hung me
on
out
me.
to dry.
Where's the lion?
No!
I took care of it. That Tinges likes to suck. Balls. You're welcome. I'm so excited.
No, babe.
Funny story about kombucha. So, back when I worked at the pet store, I was an opening manager. And one of my high school classmates is one of my coworkers. And he comes in with a bottle of kombucha. And he's drinking. He's like, oh, such a good start to the day. I feel so energized. And I took the bottle from him. I'm I'm sitting there reading it and I start laughing. I'm like, more like you're coming to work drunk. He looks at me and goes, what? I'm like, you know there's alcohol in kombucha, right? And he looks at the bottle and goes, oh my god, there is! And I sent a picture of him with the kombucha to our store manager. I'm like, he came to work drunk! And she's just dying. She's like, you two are fucking ridiculous.
Alrighty, I am back. Go make friends with a Malkavian. Or at least attempt to. Alright. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to rows of PCs. It's gotta be ambient background noise, because I don't have anything else open. It's gotta be someone talking in the background. Okay. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absentmindedly, and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope is set up for Haven. Well, it's really thinking about it there.
I truly
There
believe water can solve all our problems.
Yes, definitely.
You want to lose weight? Drink water.
Exactly.
Thanks for the hydrate,
You want to have clear
boyo.
skin? Drink water.
Yes!
Are you really tired of someone? Drown
This
them.
is my third
Oh
one
my
today.
god!
And I had tea. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him, I'm looking for Hope. Supposed to meet Hope here? I'm here on official business. I'm looking for Hope. He releases a soft cup. Yeah, you and me both. The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down inside. After a long, awkward moment, when you're ready to leave him be, he raises his voice a bit. Come, right this way. He heads back into the cafe, and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. A common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room, the lone source of pale light, the computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the door shutting behind you. Behind your back, and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. The cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in a random string of characters. After Coteries turns out to have been taken by someone else, you settle on Coteries UIOP. It works. After a few seconds, the chat window opens. A message starts appearing on the screen in quick succession. And messages, sorry. Hostage executioner. Just to be clear, I don't have a wank rag. LMAO, oh, for sure. No, for real. LMAO was meant for Jerry, of course. Not much longer. Yeah, Jerry is the chat MVP. I mean, I've admitted far worse things on here. God, I'm so horny. Not sure why I'd have the need to lie about this. Oh my god, literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who is Coteries? No idea. A new user? Wasn't here a second ago. What the hell? Was anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't. Identify yourself. Within 2 minutes or get banned. The chat goes silent. Everyone's seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out. I feel like I probably shouldn't real name them. Who are you people? Just logged in here. Who are you guys? Vulgar. Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? LOL. Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. Gonna DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble. Yeah, you're gonna regret, dumbass, the day you decided to spy on us. Well, I don't think presence will work through a computer. The waiter brought me here. Calm down. Fuck off. That one guy brought me here. Doubtful. Thought this is where I can meet Hope. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit, Jerry. How are things on your end? Got the info. Nice. You want to die, asshole? You will die. You will die. Die. Okay. Best starter, though. Sentenced to death for a shitty basic online handle. I'm literally on my way to kill you right now. Yeah. Sorry to inform you, you're about to die. Rip, bitch. You're regretting your throat slit right here, right now. You're kidding, sorry. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. You've come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker. A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. Last words? Sophie sent me. Langley. The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly. Don't struggle, or I will break your windpipe. Or my phone, which would end even worse for you. Sounds of a camera shutter and light flashing. They just take some selfies with you? Alright, that's enough. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Miss Intruder. Pretty please. The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn, take a good look at them. Let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s, giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away on her screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then, you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry, that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without her permission. She's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead. And even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious. Calm yourself, girl. I won't pull anything like this anymore. I was just, feel stupid saying it out loud. A vibe check. Vibe check. Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet in a dangerous situation. I'd say I got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given of Sophie. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news. No longer relevant to anything. But, look. If we're going to talk about it, you should have said something to say. What are you doing? About time, she asked. Note to self, she really loves the sound of her own voice. I'm building a coterie. I'm looking for people to join my coterie. Coterie? Been there, done that, not interested. And left. Takes a closer look at you. Her eyes go wide. Wait. Shit! Are you the new Langley plaything? Bird seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are! It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your emissions tell me that could really come in handy when the Langley is a risky game. That kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. Then again, fucking Kara. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself, only parts of it are audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in cooperation. But before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me, and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absentmindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches the switch on the wall and clicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. Ooh, buddy! The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above it. On top of the bed sheets, you notice what seem to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred. But you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in my everyday environment. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, better walk out the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. 9 minutes. It's now or never, show moderator. Risk of violating the masquerade? Hi. Content warnings? So, do you take the job? Why the hell not? Hope brightens up. Her smile looks surprisingly sincere. Excellent. I promise you might find this interesting in more ways than one. Alright, give me a sec. She spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. 5 minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. We're not worthy, queen! Fucking A. Angel! Hell yeah, time to fuck! That seems normal to me for... Because Bozo was in... Yeah. Ignore. You're tempted to try out the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously you won't punish someone for a little dirty talk. Thank you! Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator. LMAO, LMAO! Oh. Who? I'm sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. At least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual. Or maybe they and Hope came up with one specifically for you? Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually, people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. Alright, let's start this one with a bang, shall we? King begins. Queen. Oh boy, she's going to do it. Okay. So this is where the strip show starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth and reveals her retractable fangs in front of the camera. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see and then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying, gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing is for sure. No ordinary human caused such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear. But it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. Nick, her heart's not beating. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing detail all over her hand to maximize the impact of the violent image. Then, she starts drinking it up. She makes it a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with the look of an Instagram model is stunning. Once she's done, she reveals her wrist to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right hand as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after, the wound is gone, like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing bad ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer. First blood, kick off the show. While you're wondering what the hell is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction. How is that for an opening? This is not a sex show. This isn't a sex show? Sex? What? Were you counting on me getting naked in front of you or something? Oh, honey, we've just met each other. You expected a strip show. Yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like live streamed digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course. You peek at the chat. They're going wild. You did that! For free! Nying. I'd love to lick your wrist clean, my fallen angel. Yes! Nothing more arousing than a beautiful woman teetering on the edge of oblivion, a rose petal dancing in the eye of a violent hurricane. That was quite a message, sir. But eroticism is not the key here. It's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artist kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory harakiri. Those are an inspiration. She bares her fangs again in a devious grin. But I've no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of the body I love, no self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring power. Mending wounds is just one of these powers. The people watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry. The only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? I risk of violating the masquerade. What a joke! She's blatantly breaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. I don't know. Alright, I'm feeling generous today. Have you planned your next tattoo yet? I'll pay for the next attraction. Looking like a pink marshmallow covered in raspberry sauce. Thirsty victim, just letting you know, you're based. I know. Ignore. You let the guy vent his excitement. Seems harmless. A special message appears on the chat log, claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. It must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She showcases the label to the camera for everyone to see. Drink up. Lots of drink up. Got it. Hope pours all the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about. Safe to assume she knows. So, what do you know about the kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she's waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. No, nothing. Well, makes sense. Not the first thing you'd teach to a fledgling. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, everything. We're still working the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things can she concentrate at one time? Then, one day, the NSA got in. Turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices. Or the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. Then, of course, all the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel. And a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old network serve as government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledglings and hunt them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for an investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigations. So, there's a certain thrill and becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you're still monitoring the chat. Of course not. You're not as good at dividing your attention as she is. You corrected your mistake and checked the recent messages. Aw, is she talking to somebody? Can't wait for the real thing to start. This 2 monitors set up rules. Call of Duty on one screen, drop dead hotness on the second screen. The only woman I don't hate. Hope more like my favorite hoe. Hope has crabs and gonorrhea. That's an if somebody came into my chat with that name, I would probably kick or ban them as well, much like this person right here in my chat who just came in. Hi, you are getting the fuck out of my chat as well. Doop, 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 doop. Bye! Bye, Shalissa. I would kick them, personally. You give the guy a kick. Get yourself a normal nickname, douchebag. After 10 seconds, he's back with the same handle. Time for a decision. Ignore or ban. This kind of nickname only suggests trouble. You get rid of them permanently. Good job. She's keeping close tabs on you. Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla their network got compromised, the elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. There were executions. A lot of people who used social media to secretly contact their mortal families and lovers got off. That goes without saying. The mic isn't picking it up, but Ame is yowling. Ame! What you bringing me? At the door. But if you weren't careful... Oh, wait. Okay. But if you weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could result in being punished with final death. He's like, what the fuck is your problem, man? It's very much so a moment of, haha, you can't get me, bitch. Thanks to user Dick Steele, the next goal has just gotten successfully funded. Let's go! Vanishing Act. Dehumanize yourself and face the bloodshed. What the fuck are you gonna do? Raises her hand, 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger. Okay, so the countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen, like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitching where her silhouette should be, but it could very well be just a placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. A flash of the camera. The instant she reappears on the screen, takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes in cheers again. She is their vampiric queen. I briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. Is this the fantasy everyone is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media? You realize you are way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. Those were some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue as to our real nature, a lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as a national threat. And since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here, looking for easy PR victories. The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one. Stirred up the hornet's nest something fierce. But although it's 2019 and New York City is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War fucking II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb and understand that you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a gray zone right now, like piracy. Technically frowned upon, but let the one without this. The one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a real threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. You take another look at the screen. We want blood. How about some bad stuff? Can you do some bad stuff? Can you show us next time? It's been a long, hard day. Please give me a shout out. Familiar nickname pops up. Masochist Sama. I just take that as somebody who's excited. Guy seems to be having the time of his life. Good on you, buddy. Just going to let this guy shit up the chat. Come on, it's your job to react to spam. I mean, it's hard to tell if that's spam or if that's just somebody who's excited. She lets out a dejected sigh and kicks the guy from the room herself. Can't imagine she's too satisfied with how you handled the situation. Then she goes on. Oh yeah, fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we just exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only to blood. Okay. It's something I always dreamed of doing when I was 14. So, and it drives them. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. An angel that fell down from heaven. My God, she did it again. Beatific. Hope your tortured soul finds some calm eventually. Can you imagine USA assembling a blood-sucking squad that would just cruise by the border and suck the blood out of any illegal they found? The very thought gives me the biggest boner. That's an interesting line of thought. And okay. Just to be clear, you realize what we're doing here is a blatant breach of the masquerade, right? I honestly expected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you? Try to focus on the chat. A familiar nickname is displayed on the screen. Well, now it's even longer. Looks like Mr. Masochist needs a longer break. After you ban him, you hear Hope's voice. Good job handled. Great. If nothing else works out, seems like you fit this job at the very least. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right? Yes, Queen! Wow, it did that in a weird way. Her voice is changed. It's closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewer. You wanted blood? Come out into the street. Claw out your neighbors' throats and slash their veins and drink up. But that's not spam. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying. Influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they're possessed. Liberate yourselves from the shackles of ordinary mortality. Morality, sorry. Make them scream. Feel the warmth of their entrails. Now they're all spamming. What the hell is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into? Transcend your bodies. Release the message of hope into the world. She jerks violently for a second, then falls down on the bed like a marionette that had just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. Alright, that's enough. Instead of continuing, she does something with her phone. The stream ends, and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. What the fuck just happened? Guess the show is over. Everyone relax and go home. Aw, and I was almost ready to come, bros. Ew. Hostage, I swear on my father's grave, one day I will find you and kick the ever-living shit out of you. For every line she delivers, she changes her voice. The way she puts her lips together, and even the way she moves. You've caught a glimpse of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. What the hell just happened? I'm immortal. I'm bored. I'm separated from most vampires in this city by a generational chasm. And I'm so goddamn lonely. The internet used to be my only friend. Years ago, I started researching tulpas, collective unconsciousness, all the mumbo-jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality, and I decided to experiment. It was fake. A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, a successful erotic model, a vital part of pop culture commentary, a viral shit poster, a cryptocurrency expert. All of my internet selves started signal boosting each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire surrounded by legions of psychophans. Fake. Some may think of it as dissociative identity disorder, but that's bull. Everyone has online alter egos they buried. I just resurrected them, gave birth to new ones, and let them be crossbred. Her constant tapping on the phone, even during the show. Somehow she is capable of impersonating an entire chat room. I don't even have a self that could disassociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy. There is no masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you when she attacked you from the back. Damn, she's good at this. David Chapman. Okay. Of course, you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian. But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. Although for now, because Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be the star of my next movie? Need some time to mull it over? Sure. No, sorry to disappoint. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her. She gives you a good hard look. Guess I can give it a shot, yeah. You're not that dumb. You're not that boring. And you're kind of cute. Don't worry. No more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. Grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. I've put you through enough shit. Next time, I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the street, and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors, a different route than the one you made your way through in. Unconscious diagram of psychic event. Okay. This city is so much more than what its elites consider real. Stick with me and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. It leads you out of the building to the back alley. Shitty trailer voice. Even if someone rules the street, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. Good job, mods. Convince Hope to cooperate with you. Lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. Okay. You don't even notice when she leaves alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. New ally. Power of hope. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. Alright, I'm going to call it here for the night, because I don't want to start another section, because I was planning on ending stream in about 20 minutes anyway. I'm going to attempt to set up a movie in the Discord. We'll see what happens. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. I had a feeling that that's what was going on with Hope. That she was the chat. Like when we first went in there and there were all the people talking, I had a feeling that that was Hope. Basically having a conversation with herself. So, it wasn't super surprising to find out that it was her. So I look forward to seeing more of this. So I'm going to call it a night. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you all have a good night. Talk to you later. The current plan is Boyo and I will be streaming modded Baldur's Gate tomorrow, but it could potentially get canceled because tomorrow is a meds day. It really depends on how well my meds go. So, cross your fingers that it goes well. I hate my meds, but they work. So I'm sticking with it because I know they work. So hopefully tomorrow it'll be an easy day and the injection will go smooth like butter. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.